You're lying in bed. It's late. You're exhausted. And somewhere between consciousness and sleep, you whisper a prayer. Maybe it's short. Maybe it's messy. Maybe you don't even finish it. And then a thought creeps in. A quiet, uncomfortable one. Is God actually listening right now? Or does this not count? If you've ever felt that, stay with me, because the answer might surprise you. Picture the scene. It's 11 at night, maybe later. The day has been long. Work, responsibilities, people needing things from you. Your mind is tired. Your body is tired. You've finally made it to bed. You know you should pray. So you do. Right there, lying down, eyes half closed. A few honest words. Maybe a quiet thank you. Maybe a desperate please. And then, you drift. You might even fall asleep mid-sentence. Most Christians have been here, more than once. And most of them carry a small, quiet guilt about it. Like somehow that prayer didn't make it. Like God needed you to be standing, or kneeling, or at least sitting up straight before He would listen. But is that actually true? Let's talk about it. Here's the question most people are afraid to actually ask out loud. Is it disrespectful to pray lying down? Do I need to kneel? Does posture matter to God? Is there a right way? And have I been doing it wrong? These aren't small questions. They matter. Because how you think about prayer shapes how you approach God. And if you secretly believe that God only hears you when you've got the right position, the right location, the right setup, then prayer starts to feel like a performance. A ritual you have to get right. And when you're exhausted at 11 p.m. and you can't perform, you stop praying altogether. That's the real danger here. Not the posture, the silence. Let's go to Scripture. Because this isn't a matter of opinion. It's a matter of what God has actually revealed. In 1 Samuel 16:7, God says something that cuts through all the performance anxiety in one line. He tells Samuel, "The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Read that again. The Lord looks at the heart, not your posture, not your location, not how polished your words are. The heart. David, the man called a man after God's own heart, prayed from every position imaginable. He cried out to God from caves, from battlefields, from the depths of despair. His psalms are raw, unpolished, sometimes angry, sometimes desperate. Out of the depths I cry to you, Lord. That's Psalm 130. No altar, no ceremony, just a man and his God. And Jesus himself, when teaching about prayer in Matthew 6, didn't say anything about standing or kneeling. He talked about sincerity. He warned against prayer that was designed to be seen by others, prayer as performance. What he praised was the person who went into their room, closed the door, and prayed to the Father in private. A tired person lying in bed, speaking honestly to God in the dark. That sounds a lot like that room to me. Now here's where I want to be careful, because biblical truth is rarely just one thing. Yes, God hears sincere prayer, no matter where you are. A prayer whispered from bed, eyes heavy, words stumbling. If it comes from an honest heart, God hears it. Full stop. He is not impressed by elaborate postures and unimpressed by simple ones. He sees you, he knows you, and he doesn't require a performance from someone who is simply too tired to perform. That is real grace, and it's worth resting in. But, and this matters, grace is not an excuse for carelessness. If your prayer life has quietly shrunk to only half-asleep mumbling because you've never made space for anything more, that's worth examining. Not with guilt, with honesty. Intentionality still matters. Respect still matters. Not because God needs it, but because you do. Because the posture of your body can reflect and reinforce the posture of your heart. Kneeling isn't magic, But sometimes kneeling is the way your body says to your soul, "This is serious. I mean this." So the answer isn't choose one or the other. The answer is be honest about where you are and keep growing. Here's what a lot of people get wrong, and it goes in two directions. The first mistake is thinking that the right form makes prayer valid. That if you kneel, use the right words, follow the right structure, the prayer counts. And if you don't, it doesn't. This turns prayer into a ritual, and rituals can be performed without any heart behind them at all. Jesus had strong words for people who prayed loudly in public, but lived without love in private. The second mistake is the opposite, using grace as a reason to stop being intentional altogether, never creating space for focused, awake, deliberate prayer, letting tiredness or comfort become a permanent replacement for real engagement with God. Both mistakes treat prayer as a box to check. The first worries about checking it correctly. The second barely checks it at all. But prayer isn't a box, it's a relationship. And relationships require both grace and effort. So what does this look like in practice? Pray honestly, even when you're tired. Don't let the imperfection of the moment stop you from talking to God. A tired prayer is still a real prayer. Show up as you are. But don't let comfort permanently replace commitment. If you have the capacity for more, give more. Make space somewhere in your day, morning, lunch, evening, for prayer that isn't squeezed between exhaustion and sleep. Even 10 intentional minutes. Treat prayer as a conversation, not a checklist. When you lie down at night and pray, great. But also ask yourself, am I talking to God throughout my day? Or only when I remember? And on the nights when all you can manage is a few tired words before sleep, don't apologize. Don't carry guilt. Just speak. God is not far from the person who is too exhausted to be eloquent. He is close to the broken-hearted. He hears the cry of the weak. He does not despise the humble and honest prayer of someone who is simply at the end of their day. Let me leave you with this. God is not sitting in heaven with a checklist, waiting to see if your spine is vertical before he listens. He is not impressed by people who have mastered the appearance of prayer, while their heart is somewhere else entirely. What he wants, what he has always wanted, is you, the real you, the tired you, the honest you. When you lie down at night and whisper a prayer into the dark, he hears it. Not because you earned his attention, but because he loves you. He is not listening to your position. He is listening to your heart. So pray, wherever you are, however you are, just don't stop.